Why the Japanese Prime Minister is not popular in Japan? 12%. Can you imagine what the figure tells you? It is the annualized Japan's GDP falling rate in the first quarter in 2008. Can you imagine how much we lost our value? Our GDP is about $4,400 billion, so we may lose $500 billion. We are facing our worst economic crisis since the end of World War II. Indeed, the only thing falling faster than the Japanese economy is the Japanese Prime Minister Taro Aso's popularity. According to a recent poll, his support rate was less than 10%. It dropped 40% since his inauguration in September 2008. In contrast, Barack Obama maintained strong approval rating. As you know, I'm an Obamanian since I heard his speech in January 2008. So, today, I'd like to talk about the differences between Aso and Obama so that you can understand why the Japanese Prime Minister is not popular in Japan. In this presentation, I will tell you 3 points. First, the quick response. Second, the bold action. And third, the effective explanation. Let's begin. First, I'll tell about the quick response. As you know, Mr. Obama won the presidential race at the beginning of the economic crisis, and then showed his recovery plan before he started his administration. Moreover, he provided his stimulus package as soon as his inauguration. He knew that he needed bipartisan effort to legislate his plan, so I think he took his action very quickly. On the other hand, Mr. Aso has not shown reasonable plan even though he lost his popularity. Moreover, he suffered from the resignation of the drunken minister Shoichi Nakagawa, and then he was criticized by public. Many Japanese people expect him to show his recovery plan as soon as possible, but his administration has been like a comedy. My second point is the bold action. As you know, Mr. Obama provided his recovery plan, which amounted to about $800 billion. In fact, he was criticized by Republicans as a free spending policy, but he beat the criticism boldly. He said in the inauguration speech, "The question we ask today is not whether our government is too big or too small, but whether it works." In contrast, Mr. Aso is struggling to provide a budget package that includes $22 billion handout to the Japanese public. In line with the spending policy, each Japanese people will receive about $100. Don't get me wrong, I will not expect him to save public money. As I said, the Japanese economy may lose $500 billion, so we understand that Aso's plan, only $22 billion spending, may be too small to boost the Japanese economy. My final point is the effective explanation. Before submitting the recovery plan to the Congress, Mr. Obama showed the effects of the plan with detailed figures estimated by his transition team. It was reasonable and accountable to explain a government plan with detailed projections. On the other hand, we've never heard how Mr. Aso will boost our economy with his stimulus package. Indeed, the Japanese government committed to provide $800 billion to the developing countries at the G20 held in November 2008. As you know, the Japanese economy is depending on exports. On the other word, we need demands in the foreign countries, so it would make sense that we provide our public money to the foreign countries in order to boost their demands. Unfortunately, the $800 million commitment was not fully explained in Japan. I think that Mr. Aso should appeal it more effectively. In conclusion, let me wrap up my presentation. I talked about why Japanese Prime Minister is not popular in Japan. As I said, his action and explanation are not attractive for many Japanese people, so we support that he may not up to the task. In these days, his resignation is rumored in Japan, but it is not important that whether he should step down his post. Before his resignation, we should consider that who can take bold and swift action to boost the Japanese and global economy. Thank you for listening.